Welcome to Can Do Russian by RussianPod101.com.
Привет всем! Я Катя Коваленко. Hi everyone, I'm Katya Kovalenko. In this lesson, you'll learn how to make small talk about the weather.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Russian ebook before it's gone.
This is Karen Lee. She sees her neighbor, Dina Denisenko, and starts a conversation by saying, "How hot?"
Как жарко.
Listen to the conversation and focus on Karen's comment. Ready?
Как жарко. Да, сегодня жарко.
Once more with the English translation.
Как жарко.
How hot?
Да, сегодня жарко.
Yes, it's hot today.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Karen says, "How hot?"
Как жарко.
First is
Как?
how.
Как? Как?
After this is
Жарко.
literally hotly, but translates as hot in this context.
Жарко. Жарко.
Together it's
Как жарко.
literally how hotly, but translates as how hot.
Как жарко.
This forms an exclamation, and it's meant to elicit a response from the listener. Karen is expecting her neighbor to respond after she says,
Как жарко.
"How hot?"
Как жарко.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how the neighbor says, "Yes, it's hot today"?
Да, сегодня жарко.
First is
Да.
meaning yes.
Да. Да.
Next is
Сегодня.
today.
Сегодня. Сегодня.
After this,
Жарко.
hot.
Жарко.
All together,
Да, сегодня жарко.
literally, yes, today hotly, but it translates as, yes, it's hot today.
Да, сегодня жарко.
The pattern is
Как? Weather condition.
how, weather condition.
Как? Weather condition.
To use this pattern, simply replace the weather condition placeholder with the current weather condition. Note, this pattern requires a word belonging to a subset of Russian adverbs, sometimes called categories of state. Imagine it's cold,
Холодно.
literally coldly, but translates as cold in this context.
Холодно. Холодно.
Say, how cold, literally, how coldly. Ready?
Как холодно.
How cold?
Как холодно.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Как жарко. Как жарко. Как холодно. Как холодно. Как душно. Как душно.
Какая плохая погода. Какая плохая погода.
Какая прекрасная погода! Какая прекрасная погода! Did you notice how the last two speakers, Mark and I, use slightly longer phrases?
Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool, so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Какая прекрасная погода!
What beautiful weather!
Какая прекрасная погода!
Let's start with
Погода,
weather.
погода, погода.
In Russian, all nouns have grammatical gender and are either singular or plural.
Погода,
Is feminine and singular, a fact which will determine the form of other words in the sentence. Before this is
прекрасная,
beautiful.
прекрасная, прекрасная. Прекрасная
Is singular and feminine to agree with.
погода.
Moving to the front of the sentence,
Какая,
translating as what in this context.
какая, какая. Какая
Is singular and feminine to agree with.
погода.
Altogether it's
Какая прекрасная погода.
what beautiful weather.
Какая прекрасная погода.
Let's look at the other example.
Какая плохая погода.
What bad weather.
Какая плохая погода.
Recall
Погода,
is singular and feminine, and this determines forms of other words in the sentence. Before this is
плохая,
bad.
плохая, плохая. Плохая
Is singular and feminine to agree with.
погода.
Together
Плохая погода.
is bad weather.
Плохая погода.
Moving to the front of the sentence,
Какая,
what in this context.
какая. Какая
Is singular and feminine to agree with.
погода.
Altogether,
Какая плохая погода.
what bad weather.
Какая плохая погода.
Let's review the key vocabulary.
Холодно,
Cold,
холодно, холодно. Душно,
muggy,
душно, душно. Плохая погода.
bad weather.
Плохая погода. Плохая погода. Прекрасная погода.
Beautiful weather.
Прекрасная погода. Прекрасная погода. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say hot? Literally hotly. Жарко. Жарко. Do you remember how Karen Lee says, how hot?
Как жарко.
Как жарко. Do you remember how to say yes? Да. Да. And how to say today? Сегодня. Сегодня. Do you remember how Dina Denisenko says, yes, it's hot today?
Да, сегодня жарко.
Да, сегодня жарко. Do you remember how to say cold? Literally coldly. Холодно. Холодно. And how to say beautiful weather? Прекрасная погода. Прекрасная погода. Do you remember how to say bad weather? Плохая погода. Плохая погода.
Let's practice. Imagine you're Dina, Karen's neighbor. Comment to Karen on how cold it is. Ready?
Как холодно.
Да, сегодня холодно.
Listen again and repeat.
Как холодно. Как холодно.
Let's try another. Imagine you're Ben Lee. Comment to your classmate on how bad the weather is. Ready?
Какая плохая погода.
Да, сегодня плохая погода.
Listen again and repeat.
Какая плохая погода. Какая плохая погода.
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Mark Lee. Comment to your neighbor on how beautiful the weather is. Ready?
Какая прекрасная погода.
Да, сегодня прекрасная погода.
Listen again and repeat.
Какая прекрасная погода. Какая прекрасная погода.
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to make small talk about the weather in Russian. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.